We know it's hot outside, but our topic today is even hotter. Today, we're continuing our conversation from Tuesday about marriage and digging deeper into how important it is to have community.
I'm feeling really guilty right now.
Ooh, tell me more.
You guys, hopefully you've listened to the episode from Tuesday that was all about this question of, is marriage good for women? And we talked about that in kind of a global way. But the reason I'm feeling guilty is we did not really address personally the answer to that question. And as I know, my beloved husband is a fervent listener of this show and supporter of this show, I need to say, honey, I'm so happy that we're married. I cannot imagine, there's no world in which I would not have chosen to get married. And actually, even as difficult as things are at times, and honestly, I think marriage with children is impossible and it is kind of crumbling. And we've had this conversation at our house about 100 million times. I wouldn't want to do this without you. So I just think it's really important to say that, would I be better off? Would I personally be better off not being married? No. I'm happy to be married to this man, and I wouldn't want to be not married. My life would in no way be easier were I not married. And if something untimely happened to my husband, I would not marry someone else. But in terms of my own marriage, yeah, I mean, 10 out of 10 would have done it. So I don't know, man.
I just have to say, I just am giggling because I'm like, is this like a love note session?
I know.
Would you say that if he wasn't listening?
Yeah, no, I literally would say that if he wasn't listening. Okay. I just think it's important. It's really hard to talk about things that are both very personal and very global. And I think that's my truth is, beyond even just my husband. Do I think in a lot of ways marriage is broken and unsustainable and we have all these expectations and it's crumbling and it's so hard? Yes. Were I 20 right now? Were I 25? Would I be like, I'm not choosing that? No. I would 100% get married. I would absolutely be moving towards that. So I think trying to look at this from a totally detached basis doesn't really give it the full picture, because beyond just things working well day to day, I want to be married. I like having children, is it good for me? Is it easy? Would I be better off? Who fucking knows? But I still would have chosen this. I still would choose it today. Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense. I'm glad you let your husband know that you're happy you're married. I'm like, what's happening?
But
oh yeah, go ahead.
But personally, outside of this question of, is marriage good for women? Would Jessica choose a marriage? If you were doing your life over, would you choose marriage and children?
Totally. Yeah.
That's all.
That's a simple answer. That's all I'm going to say is yes, I would definitely choose it. I think I just want to be careful because when we're saying I wouldn't choose it with anybody but you, I love it. But it also creates this picture of perfection that I just don't want to create because it's so complicated and it's so hard. So would I choose this same path? Absolutely. Do I think if my husband and I met when we were 40, we would choose each other? Probably not. Yeah. I don't think we would, but those people back then who chose each other, yeah, of course. But I think it is I don't know. I just think it's complicated. But no, I would not choose a different path if given the choice.
Yeah. And in no way, am I saying, I chose the perfect husband. We're perfect for each other. We love each other so much. Our life is easy. No, we talk about this all the time. Being married is fucking hard.
Totally.
Being married to me is hard. Being married to him is hard, right? The pursuer and withdrawer dynamics, the fact that I feel like I'm crumbling under our lives at all times, it's hard. But I have to cop to the fact that I would choose it again. I cannot sit back and be like, marriage is bad for women, so I would not choose it. That's a lie. I would have chosen it. If I didn't choose it with him, I'd choose it with somebody else. I would have ended up with kids. I still would, given the understanding, but I do think like somehow for us to be happily married, it's going to take a major shift culturally in what we expect from our marriages.
Totally.
And I think it's going to take an extension of those needs that we have, right? Like our relational needs, our needs for support with our children and to run a household. And it's going to have to be spread into community, like you've always said.
Mhm. Mhm. Absolutely. Where I think we have to just be more, I don't know, vocal about our needs too, right? I hear passive aggressive comments and statements all the time, and those just don't get heard and they create a lot of resentment. So I think it's also
Mhm.
about empowering women to ask for what they need and letting them know that like leaving isn't necessarily always the option. It's a option,
Mhm.
but I think it just goes back to that black and white like notion that we've created in society that it's this or that. And I am just such an in between person that there's so much in between that can shift it. So it's complicated. It's so
It's
complicated.
complicated. It is. It really is. So let's jump in to a listener question that I think touches on some of these things. Okay. Dear Honest Women, my husband and I have been married for 5 years and we have two little children. And I feel like we're in that roommate stage where all we share are responsibilities. How can I get out of this?
Wait 5 years. No, I'm kidding.
N- I
But
think that's a
actually,
reasonable
I
answer.
would say like wait more like 7 to 8 years
Mm-hmm.
with young
Mm-hmm.
kids. I mean, I think at the end of the day, we need to teach people to expect a roommate stage. Men
Yes.
and women both
Mm-hmm.
need to know that there is a roommate stage of your marriage when there's just too much going on.
Mm-hmm.
And we have created such complicated lives with activities and everything going on and jobs and hours, and everybody's always working and whatnot. There is a roommate stage. I think if we can prepare for it and say that it's temporary, so,
Mm-hmm.
where are the little moments of connection that we can create during this roommate stage? So, when it ends, it's not starting from a place of complete disconnection.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the goal.
Mm-hmm. I could not agree with you more. Whew, we're back
Oh
on the
my
same
God.
page. Feels good. I think that sometimes, I am a person who's probably bought a program that's like, get your marriage out of the roommate stage. Like, I have a
Oh,
problem
totally.
with buying things
Yes,
online.
you do.
And I just wonder now, maybe what if we just like stopped fighting against that? What if we just said, like you said, a roommate stage is normal and natural? And like, what if you could just do roommates well for a season? What if you could just function well and stop fighting against that? Sometimes it's the expectation that it's going to be anything more than that that's causing a lot of problems. And like with a good roommate, you need to have fun together. So I think that
Yes.
the way that you get through that roommate stage is that you are roommates like 6 days a week, and then like one night a week, you go on a date and you could even have fun with it and be like, I get to go out with my boyfriend tonight, and
A little role
go and just
play.
be, yeah.
Rawr.
Wow. You are, that is a different topic we need to cover
Oh,
in the
we will.
fall.
We will.
Little sexy talks, little sexy talks.
Yeah, girl.
Um, so I'm flustered.
I
I'm
made
sorry.
her blush.
I
Go
was
to
raised
YouTube.
Baptist and you just said role play.
You go to
Jeez.
YouTube and you can
Louise.
see the redness appearing
I
on
am
Andrea's
not
face
blushing.
as I roared her
It's just
with
my
my
natural.
hand.
Okay, role playing aside, I was going a little more PG, maybe PG 13, but allowing yourself on that one night a week that you go on a date and doing that religiously. Like you have to feed your marriage. You have to feed the romance part of your marriage, the fun part, the connection part of your marriage. But you like, what if you only had to feed that like that one night a week? And you were like, one night a week, we go out, we don't do like kid stuff. We don't try to solve marriage problems at that time. We just literally go out and like each other. We give ourselves the vacation for 3 hours to be like, for 3 hours, once a week, we go out and we just enjoy each other. And then we go back, we do our best partnering. And then we know that as long as we maintain some connection, affection, respect, all of those things, as long as we partner well, we will get through this roommate stage. It will pass. And like you said, you just can't start from 0 or negative 100, right? You just can't start from no connection or horrible, terrible resentment, anger, rage, betrayal
Totally.
that can happen. That you can build that in the roommate years too.
You absolutely can. And I think in the roommate years, like connection is redefined. So is like what's hot and sexy is redefined in that
Mhm.
stage, right? I was thinking as you were talking about, I came home yesterday from my office and I was like, oh my God, there's a stack of clothes like folded in the laundry room. And like, I mean, and it was like clothes and sheets, I mean, everything. And I'm like, wow. I mean, I was looking at it and then I walked into my husband's office and I was like, did you do the laundry? Did you fold the laundry? Did you? And he
With
goes, I did. And I actually changed, Austin's sheets that need to be changed. And I was like, oh, you're so sexy and hot right now. I mean, and he's just looking at me. I'm like, but that is sexy in the stage of young kids. That is
Right.
sexy. Like, don't
Mhm.
come up to me in the roommate stage and like slap my butt and tell me I'm sexy. I'm like, go
Right.
away.
Ew.
You're in my personal bubble as I'm
Right.
trying to put on mascara and now it's smeared, motherfucker. Like, get
Right.
out of my space,
Right.
right?
Don't grab my ass while I'm washing a
Oh,
dish. I'm
oh,
very much in caretaking
oh,
mode. I've got too
makes me
much to
so mad.
do. Right, totally. But be an
But
equal
fold the
partner.
laundry, baby. That's hot.
Take initiative outside the bedroom. And
Yes.
maybe,
It leads to
maybe.
more. But
I
that's like
mean,
that roommate stage is always defined by lack of connection. And I'm like, but no, there can be moments of connection. Even
mhm,
like, tonight we're like dividing and conquering with some fun activity things. And like, I am totally digging my husband right now because he's got his side handled. I have my side handled. We're like high fiving each other. We're like,
mhm,
awesome. Like,
mhm,
that's more what it's like versus
mhm.
let's talk and like, let me put on some lingerie and I don't know what my brain is. I'm telling you, it was the
You
laundry
are
yesterday.
having you
It
are
was the
ready.
laundry done yesterday. I was
She
like,
is hot
I'm
and
telling you, all you
bothered.
have to do is fold my laundry.
You know what? I'm going to have to send this episode to your husband, who doesn't always listen to the podcast because you guys have an agreement
Yep.
that, like, he needs to know, like, how he hit it out of the park with you.
Actually, don't send
And
it to him. No, send
I,
it to him. But I just don't want
you'll
his expectations of laundry to change. He'll be like, I folded the laundry today. And I'd be like,
totally.
cool, high five, bro. Get out of
You're
my
like,
way.
yeah, I actually expect that now at all
Yeah.
times. So thank you for that. Can I also say, if we're talking about what drives connection in the roommate stage, like, just be nice to one another.
Yes.
You know,
Mm.
we've talked about this before, but I cannot tell you what it means to me when I get a nice text like, "Hey, just thinking of you." That says like, I matter, I exist. I feel like we've talked about this in our own marriage. My husband makes a real effort to do that, and then because of our bids for connection episode, I noticed that. I'm like, "Oh, that's a bid for connection." He is reaching out to me to show me that like he cares. And I've admitted to this before, but I don't always do the best job of either making a bid for connection, right? Sometimes all I'm putting out into the world is logistics, or saying, like, thank you for this. I like you for that. Just those things are possible during the roommate stage. And so it doesn't have to be all bad, you know? The tone and tenor of things can change a little bit, and if we don't fight it so hard, but we do optimize during that stage, like, you will get through this, and it will be good on the other side.
I think we need to do like a whole marriage series.
I
What do you
agree.
think?
I
What do you think?
100% agree. Yeah, we
I think like a
do.
whole series of different marriage episodes or different
Mhm,
seasons. So if you are not following the show, now is the time to hit that little follow button wherever you're listening to this podcast.
mhm.
And also leave us a review. join the Facebook community, DM us on Instagram, Honest Women Podcast Community on Facebook, Honest Women Podcast on Instagram. Say it in the reviews. We want a marriage series because we really want to do the things that you all want to hear, but you got to tell us. So tell us, do you want us, two couples therapists / married women, to do a whole series on marriage? Let us know.
I want us to. And I also want to know, when you send us those messages, what do you want us to cover?
Yes.
Jessica seems to be promising a sexy time episode.
Oh,
So
wow.
I think that's a given, but I'm already blushing. I can't
wait. Oh my
I
God. It's going to
can't.
be,
Oh
you
my
can't, you
God.
got to like hold it back because if I see you blushing, I'm just going to keep going because it's just fun. For me.
I'm going to have to just really shore myself up for this. But okay, we'll talk about that, but other things too. So let us know what you want to hear about. Hot take?
Hot take, girlfriend.
All right. We'll see you next week.